My name is Dr. Saurabh Roy. Today we'll discuss one of the important topic in our module 2, that is cycle, frequency, periodic time, amplitude and RMS value. Okay. So we'll not discuss angular velocity in this lecture, but in the next lecture we'll discuss it. Okay. So first we'll see what are the different types of currents or different types of voltage we have observed in our circuit. So then we will come to this point: cycle, frequency, periodic time, amplitude and RMS value also. Okay. So first, this type of signal you can see in different circuits. So this is called alternating current signal, or we can express in alternating signal. It may be current or it may be voltage. Okay. So what do you mean by alternating signal? Okay. And what do you mean by direct signal? Okay. So AC stand for, basically there are two types of current we will observe in the circuit. One is called alternating current and another one is called direct current. Similarly, we are observed the same things: alternating voltage and direct voltage. Okay. So basically this type of signal where amplitude is varying, okay, where amplitude is varying continuously, then this called alternating current signal. Or amplitude, if amplitude is current, then it is called alternating current. If amplitude means voltage, then it is called alternating voltage signal. Okay. So similarly, but if current is direct, it always flows in the same direction and its magnitude is almost constant or constant, then it is called direct current. Okay. So this is one difference. One is where amplitude is continuously varying, another one is amplitude is fixed. Another thing, difference is direct current follows in one direction, whereas alternating current periodically changes the direction. That changes the direction. Okay. So there changes the direction with time. So that is the two basic difference. One is the fixed value, another one is variable. Value is continuously changes. Another thing is direction. Okay. So direct current flows in the same direction, okay, whereas alternating current periodically changes that direction. Okay. So whenever we'll analyze the alternating current signal or alternating voltage signal, we'll see the different terms. What is amplitude, what is voltage or peak to peak voltage, what is time period. Okay. So see, this is called amplitude. Okay. This is called amplitude, means what is varying. This is continuously varying with time. Okay. And this is a complete cycle. This is a complete cycle. So then it is called time period. Means when this in the zero values, we observe that in this particular point the amplitude, starting amplitude is 0 and direction is also in upward direction. Okay. Similarly, in this point also we observe the same phenomenon. Okay. So same things that is repeated after a certain time. So that time is called time period. Same phenomena or same properties are repeated back after certain time. That is called time period. Okay. And there is a, whenever it has some maximum peak in the positive direction and it has the another peak in the negative direction, then these values is called peak to peak voltage. Okay. Or if the signal represent current signal, then it is called peak to peak current, and that is also amplitude. Then we will get in that properties of current. Okay, current amplitude, and this is called the time period. Okay, so same things which are repeating itself after a certain period of time, then that is called time period. Okay. And we know the frequency is 1 by time period. So that is the some basically different properties or different terms which are related to the alternating current signal, and it is called one cycle also. This is completely one cycle, means the phenomena which are repeating back after certain time, means after completion of time, that is called one cycle. Okay. Now we are moving, or we will see some other values. Okay, we'll see what is peak value, what is average value, what is RMS value. Those are very important whenever we are trying to solve the problem. So first one is what is peak value. Peak value is defined as the maximum value reached by an alternating quantity in one cycle is known as peak value. So what is the maximum value? One cycle means C. This is the complete one cycle. So one sinusoidal current we have seen. So maximum value of that particular current, that is called peak value in a particular cycle. So this is a complete cycle. So maximum value, maybe it may be 5 ampere, maybe 10 ampere. What is the value? Okay. So here we have observed at pi by 2 point, it gets the peak value or maximum value. Okay. So maximum value reached by an alternating quantity in one cycle is known as peak. Similarly, what is meant by average value? So average of all the instantaneous value. The average of all the instantaneous value. So this is called instantaneous. This is at particular instant what is the value. This is another instant. Okay. Similarly, this is another instant. Similarly, this is another instant. This is another instant. So all the average of all continuous value, all the instantaneous value of an alternating voltage and currents over one complete cycle. This one complete cycle, then it is called average value. So here we see this is the peak value. Peak value means at particular peak. So if you see this particular cycle or this particular half cycle, the average value is 0.637 into I. So this value we are considering for a sinusoidal AC current wave signal. The average value of a particular cycle is 0.637 into IM. Okay. So basically, whenever we are calculating the average value, we are consider only the half cycle. Okay. Because if you consider this cycle, half cycle, and this half cycle, then this plus and this one is minus. So average value will comes to 0. Next, we will see the one of the important properties of the RMS value of AC signal, that is RMS value. Okay. So the square. So what is this? RMS means root mean square. So square root of means of square of instantaneous values gives the RMS value. Okay. The square root. So this is a square root. Okay. Then we'll take the means of square of instantaneous value. Means first we will take the instantaneous value square. Means here 2 value is there, then it will be 2 square. Okay. Then if 3 is there, then we will take 3 square. Okay. Then the mean. Mean is if 2 digits are there, then what will the mean? Means average. So if we are considered 0 to pi, then we will get pi. Okay. And we are considering the half cycle, then IM square from 0 to pi and divided by. So this value is the square. So the square root. So this one is the square root. Okay. Then means of square of instantaneous value. Means of square means first we will take the square of all the values, then we will take the average or mean. So that is called the RMS value. RMS value is the one of the important thing whenever we are analyzing in an AC circuit. Okay. So now how we will calculate the RMS value? So we are considering, so there is a signal, which signal is represented by a AC signal. Okay. So now we are calculating the RMS value. So RMS means first we will write this root. Okay. So this one our root part root. Now see, we already mentioned the instantaneous value square. So what is the instantaneous value? We are considering B square. Okay. So B square at particular any instant means at pi by 2. What is the value? That is called any particular instant. At pi by 2 maybe some values are there, peak values. In at less than means here pi by 4 there are some other values. So those values are called instantaneous values. And where here we are considering this particular circle 0 to pi. Okay. So we are considering this half cycle only. Okay. So see. So here we are integrate from 0 to pi b square d theta means all the instantaneous values square, then we are adding and divided by pi. Divided by pi, which is taking average. Okay. So now if you take square on the both sides, so we are getting b square RMS. Okay. So 1 by pi, and this b we are representing Bm sin theta because this is a sinusoidal signal. So b will be Bm sin theta. Clear? So now whenever we will try to solve the problem, Bm sin theta, Bm square sin theta we are getting. So Bm square, so here we are getting Bm square sin square theta. So now Bm square is the constant part, that is the peak value we are keeping outside. This we are keeping outside. So our integration is 0 to pi sine square theta d theta. So B square RMS equal to, we can write down Bm square by pi 0 to pi. Sine square theta we can represent 1 minus cos 2 theta. What is sine square theta? 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2 d theta. Okay. So now just we will take the integration of 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2 d theta and we can solve the problem, or we can find out the value of RMS value. So now we had 2 is there, so that 2 we are taking outside, so we are getting Bm square by 2 pi 0 to pi 1 minus cos 2 theta d theta. So we are getting Bm square by 2 pi. Then this integration of 1 d theta we can mention theta. Cos 2 theta is, we can write down sine 2 theta divided by 2, because there are 2 values are there. Okay, so 2 will come there. So now this thing definite integral. So here this is the lower limit, this is the upper limit. So our integration value is theta minus sine 2 theta by 2. So whenever we are write down pi, so first we will use the upper limit. First we will use the upper limit. So theta, instead of theta we will put the value of 5. And sine 2 pi we know the value is 0. Sine 2 pi value is 0. Now we will put the lower limit. Lower limit minus. So theta is also 0 and sine minus minus. So actually upper limit we will put the value minus lower part. Okay. So first we will put the upper value, means pi. Pi minus sine 2 pi by 2 minus 0 in bracket minus minus will become plus. Okay. Sine 2 0 by 2. So all the values, see, except this first one, all the values are 0. So we are getting Bm square by 2 pi into pi. So this pi and this pi will get cancelled. So answer we are getting Bm square by 2. So BRMS we can mention. So this is the BRMS square. BRMS square. So if BRMS square is this one, then what is the RMS value? RMS is BRMS equal to Bm by. Okay. So in this way we can calculate the value of RMS value. Okay. So I hope you understand. So here we are considering, first we are considering B equal to Bm sin theta. So here we are putting the value Bm square sin square theta if B square is mentioned. So next part is Bm square we are keeping outside. So we are getting 0 to pi sin square theta d theta. Now B square RMS equal to Bm square by pi. Okay. 0 to pi. This sin square theta we are mentioning 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Okay. So next part 2 we are keeping outside. So Bm square by 2 pi 0 to pi 1 minus cos 2 theta d theta. So Bm square by 2 pi theta minus sin 2 theta by 2 into 0 to pi. So Bm square by 2 pi pi minus 0 plus 0. So all the values are we are getting 0. So answer is pi only. So this part total answer is pi only. If you are don't able to remember, then directly write the answer pi. Okay, that also correct. So we are getting Bm square by 2 pi into 5. So Bm square by 2 or BRMS equal to Bm by. Okay. So thank you everyone. Thank you. So in the next lecture we will discuss some more points.